she was crying to come out, and so I started putting her harness on, and she was willingly letting that happen, so literally taking my cat for a walk. Who knew? This is too funny. Bengal, what do you think? Hmm? No doubt she's trying to smell where those critters were, those squirrels from earlier today, I bet. She was like death staring them down. Bengal. So she looks pretty good, but last night she was definitely constipated. I had to move the litter box a couple times to find her a good spot. She went in it about 3 times and was straining, and then from the straining, her saliva gets going, and then she threw up, which was a hairball in it, but it had a lot of food in it too. And so I think she's just dealing with, what we're dealing with now from now on, right? And I don't want to extend this too long to put her through that without being in the comfort of home, although she seems to be quite happy. But blessing in disguise not going down to Florida, right? I mean, that's why my tattoo's early. That's why. And so we're gonna probably either get a hotel tonight or camp one more night. I'm 10 hours away from home, and it's just too much for me to drive. It's not safe. And I have medicine here. I gave her some of the medicine. So we're just gonna kind of wing it today, see how far I can drive, see if camping is an option with the time, because I would also then have to replenish some food. But we might just get like a Red Roof Inn and call it a mini road trip, right, Bengal? Yeah, I know. I feel bad for her. So I'm not sure what this is all about, but obviously it's clear this morning, and I'm getting a view on the way out. um, mm, yeah, I'm frustrated because I'm not sure what I should be doing better, or if I'm not doing anything wrong, I'm just not.
Yeah, that's what the kid said.
Maybe I'm overthinking it. Yeah, maybe. So as I make another fast track journey home, I get the views, right? And it seems like it's clear now. And so this is the second time I've had a fast track home. The first time was for completely different reasons. It was for financial reasons. I had no money left. Now I have definitely enough money to keep going, but circumstances still outline that it's time to go back home. And so, you know, I definitely have a reason now for why the tattoo was moved, because this happened with Bengal, and I just feel so bad for her that she has to be on these long drives and stuff. And it got me thinking that in the spiritual community, right, or in your spiritual awakening, or you're in your spiritual journey or whatever, one of the big lessons, and I talk about the big lessons here, right? We all have our own individual ones, but there are bigger ones. And one of them is to go home, right? Not necessarily the place home, but to always go back to self, right? Always go back to, you know, where you're from, right? And what you're about. And it's not always about needing to rush to the next thing, because then, yeah, again, that can be fine and that can be exciting, and there's times for those things. Nothing's ever black and white, but sometimes we are not realizing that what we are seeking is, you know, for lack of a better term, right in our backyard. And I know I live in an area, and my hometown, right? I live in Pennsylvania now, but my hometown is in New Jersey. So the Pennsylvania, New York, New Jersey area, where there's beautiful areas to camp, right? And there's beautiful views, and it's summer, so there's beautiful weather, right? And so I think coupling that fact with the fact that, excuse me, the fact that it's really unfair to take Bengal on these long road trips now, I think, because she's just probably, you know, holding her bathroom breaks until it's ideal, and her, you know, her litter box wasn't in the perfect spot before, and now it's a little bit in a more open spot, but it's hard with the car moving. And so, you know, I want to do these trips with her. I want to do these camping outings with her, but it doesn't mean I have to go across the country to do so right now. I can explore my backyard, and what's coming to mind is the song, I forget who it's by, but the lyric is, you don't have to wait for the world to change, you can explore, right? You know, I forget the exact lyrics. I always butcher this stuff, but it always comes to mind because I always feel like there's messages in them. But you know, you could explore. You don't have to wait for the world, right? And I think I'm going to shift gears a little bit and maybe begin to highlight some of the regions that are local to me, campsites, state parks that are local to me that I grew up with, that I never got to experience in the way that I'm kind of experiencing these places now. And so maybe the lack of a view was because I was missing what was right in front of me, which was to return home, right? Do it in a way that is ideal for the situation right now, the situation being, you know, Bengal and wanting to do these with her. And because these long drives are taxing, and I do feel like I'm racing all over the place. As much as I wanted this to be Oregon Trail, that would have only saved me that drive to Savannah because my tattoo would have been changed and she would have been dealing with constipation regardless, right? So it had nothing to do with my speed, right? My speed made everything a little chaotic. And so, you know, my video prior to this about, you know, going with your natural tendency to sometimes, well, be careful, that can bite you, right? And it can, and it's not something you can always predict. I think a lot of the lessons in life come from being able to fall on your face, right? That's what it's all about, is making those mistakes and then learning from them and then doing it better next time. And or even not even, it's not even about better or worse. There's no right or wrong. This trip I did, and I wouldn't change it because we had a great time, but it changed itself for me. I just had to roll with it and not get too wrapped up in the failure aspect, right? That perspective or that belief about it is only going to only going to tarnish the trip that I have had, right? Which had high points and was really enjoyable. And it's only going to muddy up my energy and make me feel guilt and make me feel shame and make me feel less than. And that's the last thing you want to do. You don't want to hold your feet to the fire in that way because we're human, right? I mean, these lessons are learned because we're human. If we were souls operating at our higher selves frequency all the time and perfectly, we wouldn't fall on our face. We wouldn't find these hiccups. We wouldn't, you know, have to overcome these hurdles. And so, you know, getting into the flow, as I mentioned in my last video, isn't about being perfect. It's about rolling with the punches, and cliches here, cliches there, but they're cliches for a reason, right? A lot of these cliches are actually, if you want to look at them, I'm actually going to say it right now because it came to my mind. I didn't plan to say this, but spiritual proverbs. I really feel like they could be, because they're universal lessons that we all deal with. Look at this. So, you know, I'm going to end it right there, but, you know, I just want to say to Charlie, who's watching this later, and to all of you out there who are resonating with this, you know, don't get frustrated. The doors will open. Things will happen where you will be able to go beyond your boundaries, beyond the borders of your quote unquote home, but that a lot of what you'll find that you're seeking is there. And to not feel like it's a disappointment or like you're never gonna get where you want to go. You'll get there, but maybe the there right now is closer than you think. Yeah, let's end it there. Okay, thanks for joining me. Bye.